Hey guys, Johnny coming back at you out here on the lake, just checking some stuff out. I had to get my 360, came back, they repaired it, and had a bit of a problem with it, but it's all good. So I thought I'd just make a quick video and talk about a technique that, for whatever reason, not a lot of people fish it anymore. I just don't know why, and that is a floating worm. And I would like to talk to you about my setup. You can throw it on casting gear, and I have thrown it on casting gear, and it works just fine on casting gear, but prefer to use it on spinning tackle. My rod, of course, all my rods are Enigma. This is an Aaron's Edge model, and it is a 611 medium fast rod, and it works really, really good for this technique. It's got a really good tip on it. You can throw it on a medium heavy rod if you want to, and it works just as fine that way. But I would like to talk to you about my setup. I've got it on, well, let me get back to how I stumbled on to fishing this thing. I'd never fished a floating worm before, and this was several years ago. And so I came out to the lake and I started throwing a fluke, and I wasn't in a tournament. I was just out here playing around, and I thought, you know what, you need to really learn how to fish a floating worm. And so I took the fluke off, set it down, and got a spinning rod out and rigged it up, and started off throwing a yellow one, and didn't do any good on it. So I changed the color and went to a merthiolate, and I had to be off the water at 11 o'clock that day, and from 8 o'clock to 11 o'clock, I caught 13 keepers. No giants, just good solid keeper fish, anywhere from 14, 16, 17 inches long. And so I came back out the next day and started off with that merthiolate, and they wouldn't touch it. So I went to the yellow one and caught 25 keeper largemouth that day, anywhere from 14 to 19 inches long, and that was a really, really good day, and lost several more. So what I want to get into right now is the setup. I've already told you about the rod. You can use a medium heavy, or you can use this medium light. It works really well. It gets you a little bit more distance. I've got 10-pound high-vis braid, and on this one, because it was set up with a different bait, I've got a fluorocarbon leader. Now, you really, really would be better off using monofilament, because fluorocarbon sinks, and we want this thing to sink at a little bit slower rate. And what I also do is, even though I've got braid and I want to eliminate that line twist, is I put a barrel swivel on anywhere from 14 to 18 inches up above that thing, because it does two things. One, it helps eliminate the line twist, and two, it helps it sink just a little bit faster. Even though you want it to sink slower, monofilament by itself will sink, for me, will sink it too slow. So I put a barrel swivel on it up front. The hook that I use, you can use two different hooks. I use a 3/0 extra wide gap hook, and it's you're better off to use a straight shank hook. Doesn't mean that you can't use the EWG, because it works too, but the straight shank is just as good, if not more effective, and I'm out of the ones that I need for it. And so what I also want to talk to you about is the rigging. I'll just grab one right here, and we'll go with it. You just take your worm. Just take your worm and just take it the hook point like you would with any other worm. Take it about a 1/4 inch down. Come out with it. And if it's an extra wide gap, you just take it through there and take the hook point through the worm. Now, this is an open water technique thing and a cover technique. If you're fishing it in brush or around cover or weeds, put that hook point just underneath the surface, and it's weedless, and it's not going to hang up on you. If you're in open water and there's no need to do that, just let the bait hang there, and it'll increase your hookup ratio. The other way that I want to tell you about hooking it up is, and I got this trick from a Bassmasters Classic Pro and an Angler of the Year, and that is Mark Davis. Mark Davis said that a lot of times those fish will short strike, and to eliminate that, he suggested, and I do it, run that bait, that hook point, down to where it's about 1.5 inches or 2 inches down the bait, and run it right on through the bait. And thread that thing, that hook point, up past the bait, past the point. Just keep going with it until that hook point is right about here, where the head of it is at the egg sac. You can see the line, the bait is running up the line, and take that hook point and rig it the same way that you would the other one, and that will eliminate a lot of short strikes. Okay, and it works. I use this way most of the time. The other way that you can rig this thing is, and I'm just going to tear this off of here just to save some time. You can do it with an EWG, but I recommend that you not use an EWG with this system, this way to rig it. You need to use a straight shank worm hook, and that is, rig that thing just like you would a wacky rig. Just like that right there. And it'll work for you. So, the baits, I've already told you the colors. You can use that yellow. You can use, I've already mentioned another color, merthiolate, that really bright orange. You can use that hot bubblegum pink. You can go with white. You can go with a color, now in really, really clear water, you can throw that, any of these colors, but that lemon shad, and I don't even know if Zoom makes them anymore, it's a good one. Of course, you can throw your natural colors, your green pumpkin blue, green pumpkin green flake. You can throw watermelon seed, watermelon red, and those all work. You just got to figure out what the fish want. So, for me, you can use this thing pre-spawn, spawn, post-spawn. I've never had any luck with it pre-spawn. I've had very little success with it during the spawn, but my best success with it has been post-spawn. Doesn't mean that you can't catch them with a pre-spawn. They'll hit it, but I've had better luck with it post-spawn. So anyway, I hope you can take these tips and use them. And if you like what you've seen, hit the like button. If you really like what you've seen, share it with somebody. And if you like what you got, subscribe. And again, God bless you. Have a great day. And hopefully maybe we'll see you out on the water somewhere. And remember, bag them up. God bless you. And have a happy, happy Easter. And remember what it's all about. Again, God bless you. Have a good one.